Hello, hello, hello. How you guys doing today? I hope all is well with you. This is Evangelist Wanda Booker coming to you once again with the word from the Lord. Um, on Sunday, I wasn't able to go to church, and so I was like, Lord, I know that you have a word for me. I didn't cut on the TV, and I gotten so many phone calls Sunday morning. It was just like some people knew that I just couldn't go to church on that morning. I woke up this morning, with aches and pain in my body, and my mom called me and she was like, well, why don't you just take some of your pills? Y'all know that I am not fond of taking pain pills or anything, but she said, why don't you just take some of your pills? So I just took three of my pills and I just laid there. And every time I tried to doze off, someone was calling me on the phone. So I was laying there, and some people call me, with some things, some little things that kind of disturb your spirit. And I was just laying there, and I just began to ask God some questions. And I had opened my Bible up, and because I was going to, just get into the Word of God so that I could get my word in, for today. And I opened my Bible up, and I just began to put my hand on the Word of God, and I began to pray for everything and everybody that came to my mind, and pray blessings upon people, and stuff like that, and even just praying for me, and as I read God's word, that He will open up my understanding and give me a word. There are times when I need a word from you, Lord. If I don't hear from you, then I don't know what to do. And I was praying, and in my situation, I was like asking God, I was like, God, it is Sunday. I want to be in church, but my body is hurting so bad. And I had an opportunity to go, but it was just like too early. My body hadn't gotten itself together. And I was like, if I can go to a later, service or whatever. But I had already, given my husband the car. So I was just asking about the pain that I go through, and the different challenges that I go through with my body. And then I was asking about why you try to be kind and you're minding your own business, and it's still that you don't talk to certain people, but you're still up in their conversation, and why this is going on and why that is going on. And someone asked me, said, like people, they're talking about me, this and that and other, and I was like, well, they talked about Jesus Christ, and they said the same thing. So who are we? We're not exempt for someone to talk about us, or someone to try to put stumbling blocks in front of us, or people. If you're happy, people are not going to be happy because you're happy. And then you look at what you're going through, and people think that things are one way, but it's just totally another way. But I just wanted some questions from the Lord, and why I was going through what I'm going through, and why I have to suffer the way we do. But I take it as I know it humbled me, and I know I'm not tolerant anymore of a whole lot of mess, and I don't like to be in confusion, and I don't like to be quarreling with anyone. So I just let people be, and if you want to be around me, then so. If not, then so. And I'm okay with it. I was telling my daughter, I was like, I used to let that bother me if I didn't have friends, or if I didn't have someone to rally around me or be in someone's company. I'm good at being alone. I'm good at just being by myself and just being still, and so that I can get in tune to what God has for me. Because what God has for me, it is for me. A lot of time people are on the outside looking in, and they see how God has blessed you, and some people get jealous. But I'm the type of person that I rejoice when I see that you are getting blessed. I rejoice with those whom rejoice. I'm not envy. I'm not jealous of what God has done for you, because what God has for you, it is for you, and what God has for me, it is for me. And I was talking to my sister, and I was like, I do go through, there are things, and it's not like it's, all of this and all of that. I go through challenges, and it is what it is. And and we were just talking, and I just love what God is doing in my sister's life through her surgery and through what she's going through, how we able to talk and, have a decent conversation and be able to be encouragers of one another. And also, I was telling my sister, there's times when, God just tell me to be silent, to be still, and see the salvation of the Lord. So there are times when God tell me don't speak on certain things, and there are times when God says speak, and I have to speak. But mostly now it's just listen, and be attentive of what someone is saying and what someone is going through, and just be patient, just be kind, be loving, be caring, and put yourself in that person's shoes, and see what's going on, why they act the way they act or whatever. Just listen and you will learn, and so I was just asking God some questions, and as I asked him some questions, I had my Bible open after I finished praying, and he took me to Ezekiel 4, Ezekiel 34, and starting at the first verse, and it talks about the shepherds and sheep, and that the shepherd is the pastor, and the sheep are the people, and it was saying, the word of God came to me, son of man, and this is what he said. The word of God came to me, son of man, prophecy against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesies against the shepherds of Israel. Prophesies and say to them, this is what the sovereign Lord said. Woe to the shepherds of Israel who only take care of themselves. Now I'm just going to read this, okay? Who only takes care of themselves. Should not shepherd take care of the flock? Should not shepherds take care of the flock? You eat the corals, clothe yourself with the wool and the chore, and eat the chore, and slay the choice animals, but you do not take care of your flock. You have not strengthened the weak or healed the sick. Listen to this. The shepherds have not strengthened the weak, nor healed the sick, or bound up the injured. You have not brought back the stray, or search for the lost. You have not brought back the stray, or search for the lost. Oh my God. Oh my God. And this is kind of like what I'm kind of like going through. The shepherd has not brought back the stray, or searched for the lost. You have ruled them harshly and brutally. So they were scattered because there was no shepherd. You have ruled them harshly and brutally. So they were scattered. No shepherd. And then they were scattered. They became food for the wild animals. My sheep wandered over all of the mountains and on every high hill. They were scattered over the whole earth, and no one searched or looked for them. Have you ever felt like that when you have left the church and no one search or look for you? Have you ever felt that way? No one called you. You were home sick and no one from the church called you to check on you. No one came to aid you. Have you ever felt that way? My God. Therefore, you shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. This is for the shepherds. As surely as I live, declares the sovereign God, because my flock, like a shepherd, and some have been plundered and has become food for all the wild animals, and because my shepherd did not search for my flock, but cared for themselves rather than for my flock. Therefore, O shepherd, hear the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against the shepherd and will hold them accountable. I am against the shepherd and will hold them accountable for my flock. I will remove them for tending the flock, so that the shepherds can no longer feed themselves. I will rescue my flock from their mouths. I will rescue my flocks from their mouths. It will no longer be food for them. For this is what the sovereign Lord said. Oh, my God. Says, I myself will search for the sheep and look after them. The sovereign Lord said he himself will go after the sheep. He will search for them. And then he will look after them as a shepherd looks after his scattered flock when he is with them. So will I look after my sheep. I will rescue them from all of the places where they were scattered on the day of clouds and darkness. I will bring them out of the nations and gather them from the cities, and I will bring them into their own land. I will pasture them I will pasture them on the mountains, and Israel is in the ravens and in all of the settlements in the land. I will tend them in a good pasture, and the mountains high of Israel will be their grazing land. There they will lie down in good grazing land, and there they will feed a rich pasture on the mountain of Israel. I myself will tend my sheep and have them lie down, declares the sovereign Lord. I will search for the lost and bring back the strays. I will bind up the injured and strengthen the weak. But the sleep and the strong I will destroy. I will shepherd the flock with gestures. As for you, my flock, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will judge between one sheep and another, and between the rams and the goats. It is not enough for you to feed on the good pastures. Must you also trample the rest of your pastures with your feet? It is not enough for you to drink clean water. Must you also muddy the rest with your feet? Must my flock feed on what you have trampled and drunk, what have had muddied with your feet? Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord said to them. See, I myself will judge between the fat sheep and the lean sheep. My God. Because you serve with flank and shoulder beating all the weak sheep with your horns until you have driven them away. I will save my flock, and they will no longer be plundered. I will judge between one sheep and another, and I will place over them one shepherd, my servant David. And he will tend them. He will tend them and be their shepherd. I, the Lord, will be their God, and my servant David will be prince among them. I, the Lord, have spoken. I will make a covenant of peace with them and rid the land of wild beasts. I will make the covenant of peace with them and rid the land of wild beasts, so that they may live in the desert and the sheep in the fortress of safety. I will bless them, and the places surround my hills. I will send down showers in season. There will be showers of blessing. I will send down showers in their season, and there will be showers of blessing. The trees of the field will yield their fruit, and the grounds will yield its crop. The people will be secured in their land. They will know that I am the Lord. I am the Lord when I break the bars of their yoke and rescue them from the hands of those who enslave them. They will no longer be plundered by the nation, nor will wild animals devour them. They will live in safety. I will live in safety. I will live in safety, and no one will make them afraid. No one will make me afraid. I will live in safety, and no one will make me be afraid. He says, I will provide for them. He will provide for me a land, a land renowned from its crops, and they will no longer be victims. I will no longer be a victim of famine in the land, or bear the scores of the nation. Oh my God. Then they will know that I, the Lord their God, am with them. I know that the Lord thou God is with me, and that they, the house of Israel, are my people. I am his people. I am the child of God, and he is my God, declared the sovereign Lord. You, my sheep, I am his sheep, the sheep of my pasture. I am the sheep of his pasture, and are the people, and I am your God, declares the sovereign Lord. He says, I am his sheep, and I am the sheep of his pasture, and he is my God, declares the sovereign God. I tell y'all, God is so good, and he is so worthy to be praised, and that's what he gave to me, and this is what he just gave to me just now, and what he's just given me now, and I'm gonna read this, and we're gonna be out like a light. Psalms 23. Look like you can't get it. Okay, Psalms 23, and this is what the Lord is saying to me. And I'm reading from out the NIV version. And he says to me and to you, and if you may, you might want to read it yourself, and just knowing that it is for you. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside quiet waters. He restoreth my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The Lord is my shepherd. My God, I shall not want. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. My cup overflows, my God. Surely goodness and love will follow me. Goodness and mercy shall follow me. Goodness and love shall follow me all of the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forevermore. The Lord is my shepherd, and I am his sheep. He leadeth me beside still waters, before his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valleys and the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, for God is with me. Oh my God, I will fear no evil, for God is with me. My God, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. My God, you prepared a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. My cup is running over. Your goodness and your mercy, your loving and your kindness will follow me all of the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and forever and forevermore. I hope and I pray that I help someone on today. Those are the scriptures that God gave to me on today, and I wanted to share them with you. And feel free to read. This was Psalms 23, starting at the first verse on down to the sixth verse. The Lord is my shepherd. Songs of David. And I just tell y'all, God is so good. I love y'all with the love of God. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to push that like button. Don't forget to tell somebody about Evangelist Wanda Booker. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to push that like button. Don't forget to comment if you may. Don't forget to tell someone about Evangelist Wanda Booker. Evangelist Wanda Booker, evangelizing, just doing what God has called me to do. I love y'all. I love y'all with the love of God. And thanks for just coming on, tuning in, and hearing the word from the Lord as He give it to me. I will give it to you guys. I love y'all with the love of God. Kisses, hugs. Sometimes you gotta hug yourself. And